The courtroom hummed with quiet tension as June Park adjusted his simple blue shirt, his fingers nervously tracing the edge of the legal document. Outside, the summer heat pressed against the courthouse windows, creating a sticky atmosphere that matched the growing unease in the room. Subway's corporate lawyers sat across from him, their expensive suits a stark contrast to June's modest attire. They looked confident, almost bored, expecting another routine customer complaint. But this was anything but routine. 2 weeks earlier, June had ordered a meatball sub from a local Subway near his small apartment in the city. He remembered that day clearly, hungry after a long shift at the warehouse, wanting something quick and filling. The sandwich looked normal, smelled normal, tasted normal. But something was different. The first sign came during his night shift. June noticed he could lift heavy storage containers with unexpected ease. His coworkers watched in surprise as he moved equipment that typically required 2 people. At first, he thought it was just adrenaline or a burst of unexpected strength. Then came the medical tests. His doctor was bewildered. June's muscle density had increased by 300%. His healing rate was extraordinary. A small cut he received while shaving disappeared within minutes. His blood work showed unusual cellular structures that seemed enhanced. The only connection was the meatball sub. Initially, Jum thought about simply asking for compensation. But as he dug deeper, collecting medical records and conducting his own research, he realized this was something much bigger. The nanites mixed into those meatballs were not a manufacturing accident. They were deliberate. Subway's legal team tried multiple strategies to intimidate him. They offered settlements. They suggested medical evaluations that would conveniently make everything disappear. But Jun was determined. He had brought extensive documentation, medical reports, witness statements from his workplace, detailed chemical analysis of the remaining meatball ingredients. Each piece of evidence told a strange story of technological intervention disguised as a simple sandwich. The lead corporate lawyer, a tall woman with sharp eyes, leaned forward. "Mr. Park, do you understand the seriousness of your claim?" June nodded calmly. "I understand perfectly." What none of them knew was that hidden cameras were recording everything. Alien observers, disguised as corporate consultants, watched the proceedings with growing concern. Their carefully planned technological experiment was about to be exposed. June's sister Hannah sat behind him, her background in biochemistry giving her unique insights into what was happening. She had been the one who first suggested comprehensive testing of the meatballs after hearing her brother's strange story. The courtroom felt like a pressure cooker. Something significant was about to change, not just for June, not just for Subway, but potentially for all of humanity. As the hearing continued, small details emerged. The specific batch of meatballs, the unique manufacturing process, the inexplicable cellular transformations. Each revelation added another layer to what was becoming a complex technological mystery. June wasn't just fighting for a lawsuit. He was fighting to understand what had happened to his body, why he now felt different, stronger, more aware. The meatball sub was more than a meal. It was a gateway to something extraordinary. The corporate lawyers exchanged worried glances. This was no longer a simple customer complaint. This was something that could potentially expose technological secrets they had worked hard to keep hidden. Outside the courtroom, unnoticed by anyone, a sleek black vehicle with tinted windows waited. Its occupants were not from any earthly legal firm. They were watching, waiting, preparing to intervene if the proceedings didn't go according to their carefully constructed plan. June took a deep breath. His life had changed with a simple lunch, a meatball sub that was anything but ordinary. And today, in this quiet courtroom, the first chapter of an extraordinary story was about to be written. The days following the courtroom hearing were anything but normal for June Park. His body continued to change in ways that defied medical understanding. What had started as increased strength now seemed to be a complete transformation of his physical capabilities. The doorbell rang. Its sound seemed unnaturally sharp, cutting through the morning's quiet atmosphere. When Hana opened the door, the lead agent spoke perfect Korean, his voice modulated to sound friendly yet authoritative. "We're here to discuss the recent developments regarding your medical condition." But they weren't from any Earth-based organization. Hidden beneath their human disguise were advanced biological interfaces that allowed them to maintain a human appearance. They were galactic observers, sent to assess the potential threat of the nanite technology. Jun remained calm. The nanites had not only enhanced his physical abilities, but also provided him with a heightened sense of awareness. He could sense the slight electromagnetic disturbances around these visitors, something normal humans would never detect. The conversation started politely. Questions about medical tests, inquiries about Jun's physical changes. But underneath the pleasantries, a complex game of information gathering was taking place. The alien observers were collecting data. They wanted to understand how their experimental nanite technology had produced such unexpected results. Humanity was not supposed to advance this quickly. The technology was meant to be a controlled experiment, not a potential evolutionary breakthrough. Hana played her part perfectly. Her scientific background allowed her to ask questions that seemed innocent, but were carefully designed to extract information. She understood they were dealing with something far beyond a typical medical investigation. Outside, another vehicle watched. This one belonged to a different faction. Human intelligence agencies who had caught wind of the unusual activity. They too were interested in Jun's transformation, seeing potential military applications. The nanites inside Jun's body began to communicate. Complex data streams exchanged information at speeds impossible for human technology. They were preparing, adapting, understanding the potential threats surrounding their host. The meeting lasted exactly 47 minutes. To an outside observer, it would have seemed like a routine medical consultation. But every word, every gesture was loaded with multiple layers of meaning. As the alien observers left, they knew something fundamental had changed. The nanite technology had worked far better than anticipated. Humanity had shown potential they hadn't expected. Jun and Hana watched the vehicle disappear, understanding that this was just the beginning. The Meatball sub that started everything was now a symbol of something much larger, a potential turning point in human evolution. The rain continued to fall outside, washing away any evidence of the extraordinary meeting. To the rest of the world, it was just another ordinary Tuesday morning. But everything had changed. The first contact had been made, and humanity's next chapter was about to be written. The resistance began in a small basement laboratory, with Jun and Hana surrounded by screens, complex equipment, and walls covered in scientific diagrams. They understood now that their discovery was more than a medical anomaly. It was humanity's potential salvation. Word spread quietly through carefully selected networks. People who had experienced similar unexplained physical changes began to connect. Some found each other through encrypted online forums, others through subtle medical research channels. They were different, enhanced, and increasingly aware that they were being watched. Jun's nanite-enhanced body became their primary research subject. He could now process information at incredible speeds, heal from injuries almost instantly, and demonstrate physical capabilities that defied human limitations. Hana documented everything, creating a comprehensive database of their transformative technology. Their first major breakthrough came when they discovered the nanites could be selectively transferred. A carefully designed protein solution could potentially activate similar enhancements in other humans. This wasn't just about Jun anymore. This was about creating a potential defense for humanity. Underground medical professionals joined their network. Doctors who had seen unusual patient transformations, researchers who had noticed unexplained cellular changes, all began sharing information. They understood they were part of something much larger than a simple medical mystery. The alien observers continued their surveillance. They had not anticipated this level of human adaptability. Their carefully planned technological experiment was spinning beyond their control. Every attempt to suppress the information seemed to make it spread faster. Hana developed protective protocols. She created encryption methods that could hide their communications, developed medical techniques to identify and potentially activate the nanite potential in other humans. Their basement laboratory became a command center for a silent, scientific resistance. Government agencies began to take notice. Unusual reports of enhanced individuals started appearing. People with extraordinary healing capabilities, increased strength, enhanced cognitive functions. But these were no longer random occurrences. They were becoming a coordinated phenomenon. June's body continued to evolve. The nanites were learning, adapting, creating new pathways of human potential. He could now interface with computer systems through subtle electromagnetic signals, process complex calculations in seconds, and demonstrate physical capabilities that seemed almost supernatural. Their network grew carefully. They weren't looking to create an army, but a strategic defense mechanism. Each enhanced individual was carefully vetted, trained, and integrated into a broader communication system. They were preparing, but not for aggression, for protection. The Meatball sub that started everything became a symbol, a strange, almost humorous origin story for what could potentially be humanity's next evolutionary step. June would sometimes laugh about how a simple lunch could change everything. International research facilities began experiencing strange computer glitches. Encrypted messages would appear and disappear. Scientific databases would show momentary glimpses of advanced technological concepts before returning to normal. The resistance was subtle but persistent. Hannah's scientific approach meant they weren't just reacting. They were strategically planning. Each piece of information, each discovered capability was meticulously analyzed. They were building a comprehensive understanding of the nanite technology. The alien observers grew increasingly concerned. Their experimental technology was being understood, adapted, and potentially turned against them. Humanity was showing a level of adaptability they had not anticipated. In quiet laboratories, in carefully secured communication centers, in seemingly ordinary apartments around the world, enhanced humans were preparing. They weren't a unified military force, but a distributed network of intelligent, capable individuals. June looked at the complex map of their resistance network. What had started as a simple lawsuit over a Meatball sub was now a potential turning point in human history. The nanites were more than a technology. They were a bridge to humanity's next stage of evolution. Outside, the world continued its normal routine. People went to work, ate lunch, lived their lives. They had no idea that a quiet, intelligent resistance was forming, powered by a technology that began with a simple sandwich. The resistance was real, and it was just beginning. The final confrontation began without fanfare. No dramatic explosions, no massive military formations. Just a quiet, calculated response from humanity's most unexpected defenders. June stood at the center of a global network, his body now a perfect fusion of human potential and advanced nanite technology. Around him, hundreds of enhanced individuals prepared for a moment they had been training for months. The alien Galactic Trade Council had miscalculated. They believed their technological superiority would easily suppress human resistance. They were wrong. The first attack came from orbital platforms, sophisticated energy weapons designed to neutralize technological threats. But the nanite network had already anticipated this. June's enhanced cognitive abilities had developed complex defensive algorithms that predicted and countered each incoming attack. Hannah's research proved crucial. The nanite network wasn't just a defensive system. It was a living, adaptive intelligence. Each attack made humanity stronger, more connected, more capable of resistance. Communication satellites suddenly displayed strange patterns. Complex mathematical equations scrolled across global networks. Military systems worldwide experienced unexplained glitches that seemed to form a complex, interconnected message. Humanity was united. The alien observers realized too late that their experimental technology had created something they never expected. The Meatball sub that started everything had become humanity's unexpected weapon of cosmic defense. June could now interface with global communication systems, coordinate defensive strategies across continents in milliseconds. His body was no longer just a human form. It was a living computer, a strategic command center that could process information at speeds beyond alien comprehension. Defensive systems around the world activated simultaneously, not through military commands, but through the nanite network that now connected enhanced humans globally. Each individual became a node in a living, breathing technological organism. The Galactic Trade Council's attack fleet found itself facing something impossible. Their advanced weapons were being neutralized, their communication systems scrambled, their strategic advantages completely dismantled by a network they couldn't understand. Orbital defense platforms went offline. Advanced alien technological systems experienced complete shutdown. And at the center of it all was June, his body now a perfect fusion of human potential and technological advancement. Hannah watched from their command center, her scientific mind processing the incredible transformation. What had started as a simple investigation into a strange meatball sub had become humanity's most significant moment of cosmic defense. The confrontation lasted less than 3 hours, but it would be remembered as the moment humanity proved its potential to the galaxy. No massive battles, no destructive warfare, just a quiet, intelligent resistance that completely neutralized a technologically superior threat. As the alien fleet retreated, global communication systems displayed a simple message. Translated from complex mathematical language, it read, "Humanity is not your experiment." The meatball sub that started everything became a legend, a simple lunch that had transformed human potential, that had given humanity a chance to show its true capabilities to the cosmos. June looked at Hannah, a slight smile crossing his enhanced features. The nanites within him continued their complex dance, adapting, learning, preparing for whatever might come next. The Galactic Trade Council would think twice before underestimating humanity again. What began as a simple lawsuit over a sandwich had become humanity's declaration of cosmic potential. The resolution was complete. Humanity had survived. And everything had changed. In scientific archives, in classified reports, in quiet conversations around the world, people would remember this moment, the day a meatball sub changed everything.